Hello, everybody. Welcome to Orange, the color of the month March, and the VibroChromotherapy program. I'm so excited to have you guys here for the month of Orange. It is absolutely a month to not be ignored. Orange is a very, very powerful color. It has a lot of amazing properties, and it can create a lot of shakeup in the system, which is why orange is not usually included in the essences that we currently sell to the public. And this is one of the reasons why orange can work at a very, very deep level. You may have read in the book, in the ebook, that orange can work with karmic debt with the canna essence itself, the canna essence green crack. So we're taking the color orange and vibrate and matching it harmonically underneath the electronic microscope to find the perfect balance between those two essences, or the color and the essence itself. And orange itself is, in the positive, is a really beautiful color. It has very beautifully clear boundaries, clarity of self and mind, so you know who you are and who other people are. You know your responsibilities for yourself, and you have the ability to really see what is yours and what is not. It allows you to have creativity, joyfulness, abundance, self-confidence, and a type of constructive criticism that can be stimulating, energizing, warming, balancing, both to the PEMS and the environment, giving clarity of communication, especially in emotions and intimacy. This is where orange can be really shaking up of the system. It shakes up intimacy issues. If there's intimacy problems in your relationships, you will see this come up as you work with the color orange. And then orange in the negative, it's where you're very rigid and isolated and having this despondency and despair kind of category. All of those essences of the Bach flower essences that work with despondency and despair. Orange, people who are out of balance in orange are non-social. They tend to avoid others like the plague. Some women will experience PMS when they're out of balance when they're using the color orange, or when they need orange. When they have menstrual complaints, irritable bowel syndrome, testicular issues, excessive dehydration, I've also seen being associated to a lack of orange in the body. Same thing with gastrointestinal issues, digestive issues, and then muscle pain and cramps can be soothed and helped by the color orange, especially when you're experiencing that deficiency. So applying compresses to sore muscles and cramps using the color orange. This means you're applying not only the color red, but you're also applying the color yellow, which specifically works with muscle pain. March is the month of excess, the month of abundance, the month of joy, wealth, and purification. And really, when we work with orange as the color and then the canna essence green crack together, we see that orange is deeply purifying to the system. There is a huge purification process that happens to the whole body, mind, and soul through the color orange and the canna essence, which is very beautiful. And this is one of the reasons why you want to have the resources to ask questions, to work with the color boards, to work with those complementary colors, to balance the system when orange shakes things up and out of place. Not everybody has the right coping mechanisms to give themselves the support that they need to really embrace and take the medicine that the essences are offering. So this is why through the VibroChromotherapy program and teaching you to be practitioners in your own practice, you will have those tools to give to your clients so that they can leave fully prepared to support their systems. All right. So the main effects that I want to talk about the canna essence, the actual green crack itself, is for this essence itself is for those who tend to feel really weighted down with heavy energy. If you feel like you got hoocha, that you just have a ton of weight on your body, your shoulders, that there's a type of darkness that's perceived in your auric field. So if you're somebody who can sense and see auras, then you're going to notice people with dark areas, fuzzy areas. Maybe you've seen these before as you've been maybe people watching. And it's really for those people who have an environmental buildup as well of dark, heavy energy, what we call hoocha. It's also for those who are working hard on their self-care and their self-work. So they're deeply engaged with the shadow pack. So those people who are really feeling that engagement to work with the shadow pack are going to be deeply supported by the Canna essence, especially when they feel like nothing is happening. They've been working on this shadow pack for a long time. I feel like they've worked on every issue that's possible and they're still not growing. This is where they feel static and stuck. The Canna essence orange, the purification essence, can come in and Jeez Louise, sorry. Can come in and give you the support that you need to really continue that work and go to the next level. And it's really for those people who need a catalyst, that thing that shakes them up and moves them over to continue forward on their beautiful journey, right? They need the incentive to do the challenging work. This is when you've been doing work for a long time and you're just starting to get despondent, right? We all get there. We've all had this place, and as human nature, it's going to happen to you or your client at some point during their healing journey, many times during the healing journey. This is kind of what I call the beginning of a healing crisis, right? It can start as that. It can start looking a little bit like that. And then for those who feel dirty, unclean, or feel that they need to cleanse and detoxify their system, if they're feeling like they need affirmations in their life calling, they can work with orange and they can really work with purple, combine the two, and work at a really deep level towards your destiny's calling. If you need more light in your life, you need more grounding in your life, you're going to be using this essence. Maybe you don't feel like you're living in the present. Maybe you're living in the future, living in the past, but you're not here in the present moment. Orange will help you get there. Maybe you're getting over addictions, having challenges, or your clients getting over addictions. The orange essence is especially useful for addictions. I've used the orange canna essence specifically in heroin addictions, alcoholic addictions, some cannabis addictions. I've worked with multiple cases of cannabis, marijuana addiction, imbalanced use, where they use the canna essences instead when they get the craving to use, smoke, or eat edibles, or dab, or whatever their vehicle of intoxication of choices, right? Because that is, for them, was out of balance. So now that they're using the canna essences to replace that, we see people get through addictions pretty, not easily, but a lot more supported than they were if they were going through it without that tool. And then there is some specific stuff for ear congestion. So there was somebody in our group who mentioned ear congestion in one of their last feedbacks on February. So if that's you, let me know, but also pay attention to the upcoming temporal bone dysfunction, the headache kind of thing, that protocol that I'm about ready to share with you. So those are all of the out of balance, the negative qualities that are being displayed in a human PEM system that you can then support with the positive qualities of orange and the green crack canna essence. So that's really where you can bring in that cleansing purification remedy, where you can really get harmonizing effects. This one is super powerful, very deep. I have a specific protocol that we'll talk about in January that goes deeply into what karmic debt debt harmonizing is, how you can work with it, what you should do, what you shouldn't do, all of that good stuff. So in this book itself, I do talk about working specifically with some karmic debt and a protocol that is really yummy when you're working with deep ancestral lines and ties. Cool. Okay, so now suggested body applications specifically start on page 35 in your ebook, or if you have the hardbound copy, it starts on page 35. And specifically with these, you're going to want to work with a couple of the different applications that work for your body. You can continue to do the cotton ball applications, the lotion, the compressing, anything that you're most attracted to. But you can also start to branch out and use some of these specific protocols. You might use them now, or you might use them later with your clients. So these webinars are a great resource for you to keep on hand. So for me, when I start to work with colors that shake up the PEMs, I like to empower the self-healing process or empower my client. And you do this by having the person choose a specific body application according to how you or how they personally process their own information and their sensations in their PEM systems. So this means, do you process your feelings, sensations, emotions unconsciously in your dreams at night? Or do you process them during the day right now in that moment? If you feel like you process in your dreams, if it's a yes, then you're going to want to work with drop doses or a dosage bottle of the orange essence, which is really nice to continue to work with the dosage bottle. You can also do compressions or cotton ball treatments right before you go to bed or fall asleep. This will allow you to specifically connect into the shadow pack, the unconscious part of your processing, and give it the resource it needs right before you go to sleep. You'll start to experience a deeper connection to your dreams. You'll be able to remember more of your dreams. You'll be able to start to work deeper with the guides, the spirits, the information that you're receiving in your dream world. Now, if you process throughout the day while you go about things, I want you to take 1 to 3 drops of the orange canna essence and add it to your body lotion and apply it to the entire body in the morning after you take a shower. So I want your pores to be open. I want your skin to still feel warm, not cool. Then I want you to go about your day. Continue to do this for up to 1 week at a time. So 7 consecutive days. Now, sometimes the system gets what it needs after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 applications, right? It may not need all 7 applications. It might just need 1. I'm very, very sensitive to this particular type of application. If I apply a body lotion to my entire body that's enhanced with the canna essences, I'm only going to need to do that once. And I might only need to do that once in the quarter of an entire month. So I honor the fact that I'm very, very sensitive and that my body feels and senses these plant spirit and color spirit medicines more deeply than other bodies. Some bodies, the ones that are disconnected, that don't feel as much, that actually have, when you look at them through an auric state of being, they have this really thick auric wall around them. It's very thick auric field. It's dense, full of stuff, right? This is where the person is just numb. They're numb to the sensations of their physical, emotional, mental, spiritual bodies. They're numb for some reason. You don't need to necessarily know that reason, but you know that they've experienced trauma that has disconnected their physical, emotional, mental, spiritual bodies. It's literally fractured all of those apart. Think of them as 4 separate selves. This is why they're so dense. This is why the auric field is dense. And that's when you'll notice that these people want more. They need more. They'll go through their entire dosage bottle in 3 days. These are the people you want to teach. Geez Louise, excuse me. These are the people that you want to teach. Haha. Still getting over my cold. These are the people that you're going to want to teach how to work with their body after your session. So they're going to be the people who may or may not sense what you're doing in the moment. They're not going to be like, whoa, that's amazing. I'm experiencing all of these shifts in my system, and my imagination is going wild, and I'm having all this imagery happening in my head. Sometimes that doesn't happen with that particular type of constitution, but I guarantee you, after they work with the lotion for 7 days straight, they will have transformed their system, cracked open their shell to their PEM system a little bit, and allowed their body to start to reconnect to itself. I have had some clients do this every single day for 30 days. And then once they worked with that color and saturated their body, they didn't need as much of the next colors. And they started using different body treatments and following their intuition and empowering themselves to choose their self-healing path. So to help you, if you're going to work with these, to figure out what type of constitution you are you a sensitive constitution, or are you a slightly numbed constitution, which is what I call a dense constitution. They're two slightly different constitutions, and then there's kind of an in-betweener one that comes in there. So I tend to see 3 specifics. Have these people check into their system, see if they're repelled by applying the essence. If there's any day that they're like, ugh, I don't want to do that, that sounds like a pain in the butt, I just have complete resistance to that. Support the resistance. Support the resistance, and do not do the protocol. Take a couple of days off. You may even need to take a couple of days off from your dosage bottle. Honor your PEM system. Now, what happens if you have no idea how you process your body information at all? Because there's a ton of people out there, and those numb constitutions are going to be the ones who teach you the most, right? And if you're a numb constitution, I would love for you to share some of your experiences over working with the colors over the course of the month. So what I tend to do is when I have these people go, I don't know how I process. What are you even talking about? What's this thing about processing? Well, you want to encourage them to start to apply the essences during the day, so right before you go into the world, and then see how you do in the world. And then try a body application at night right before bed and see which one you like best, because I guarantee you're going to like one better than the other. Early on, I loved evening applications. They were exactly what I needed. And then I started to switch, and I needed day applications with lotion applications and dosage bottles, and then body applications. And your body will shift and change as you go through these beautiful metamorphic shifts. Every month, you're going to have a metamorphosis. Think of yourself like a beautiful larvae butterfly. You're inside of your cocoon. You're transforming. And then at the end of every single month, you bust out of your cocoon as the new vital being that you are. And this month, you are seriously inside of a cocoon. The whole month is about purging, removing, reconnecting, all of the things that do not serve your physical, emotional, mental, spiritual bodies. It's literally going through and connecting you to all your past and giving you the opportunity to heal yourself and choose your path. So what I like to do if I'm going to work with karmic debt, we specifically talked about karmic debt, is work with the pubic symphysis. So on page 36, there is a picture of the pelvic bone where you can see where the pubic symphysis is. And this is where you're going to want to be compressing using the color orange if you're going to be working with karmic debt. So if you feel like you have some like serious karmic baggage, you've got some tons of karmic baggage. It feels like it's one of those things that are holding you back, dragging you down. Your family has got you pulling you back. All of your family garbage, familial garbage is, if that's up for you, then that's what you'll be wanting to do with karmic debt. Work with that, transform it. If you work with karmic debt in your own body, you can help support the karmic debt chain of all the other ancestors who are in that same line. So say another family member is going through something, but they have no resources to work with that. But it's also a thread that's in you. So something that you've noticed that goes out of balance and balance, it wavers through neutrality, right? It goes up and down. It's the pendulum. You'll want to work with the karmic debt for you and for your family. And this is a really beautiful way of working with it for 6 weeks or longer. I suggest up to 3 months. And you want to work with long-term patterns of imbalance. And I like to use a cotton ball for this. I like to apply it directly to the pubic symphysis. So that's the little blue area on the picture there. But what you can imagine is your hips. You've got your hips like this, and they connect with the pubic symphysis right above. And right above, you've got your pubic shelf right here. So you feel right above your genitals, and you feel that hard area, and then there's this soft area where your bladder is, right? That's exactly where you want to be. You want to apply during that whole area. For women, it usually looks like right by the pubic hairline, all the way down to the top of the lips of the vagina there, so the outer part of your genitalia. Same thing for men, hairline all the way down to the very top of the testicles there. I mean, top of the shaft, the penis. Then work with the shadow colors on the color board, the complementary colors, so that you can keep your PEMS balanced. So what a lot of people tend to do with this particular protocol, I like to specifically work with orange on the front of my body, and then I'll work with blue, the complementary color, on my sacrum, the back of my body. And then I'll flip it up, because some days I really want orange on the front, some days I want blue on the front and orange on the back. So listen to your body, and then notice when you start to be attracted to other colors that come in and give you the support that you need. So that's one of my favorite specific body care sessions for the month. I hope you'll try this during the month. And if not, you can try it at any other point and work with it with all of your other protocols that we're going to be doing over the course of the next couple of months. So through the full 12-month program, you can use that protocol at any point in time to support the work that you're doing. So other colors might shake up the image of what your karmic debt is, and then you're going to need to come in and support it with orange. There's a couple of other orange specific body care applications that I really hope you'll look at. It's page number 48. Number one, very similar to red, where you would get a full body massage, and they can enhance the massage lotion with the color of choice. This is a really great way to receive a massage session. I went to Hand & Zone the other day, and I just had the practitioner go ahead and give me a session with a couple of drops of the color that I needed for that day. And it just happened to be turquoise for me. Also, baths. Foot baths are really, really delicious when you work with orange, and it lets you do a type of detoxification of the PEM system through your feet, and it allows your body to drain and release all of the hucha, the heavy energy, from your system and out of the body, which will really leave you feeling full of courage and vitality. And all you need to do is just add 3 drops of your stock bottle or practitioner bottle to any size bath, 1 to 3 drops. Now that I've done enough testing, and we went ahead and we did the water testing underneath electronic microscope, we're seeing that 1 drop will actually affect 500 gallons of water. So the 3 drops is for you if you feel you need it. If you're a constitution that needs a heavier hit, then the 3 drops can be more along what you can use for your application. You can also apply it directly from the stock bottle. So those tinier practitioner bottles, these bottles that you would be using, these bottles that you use would be the ones that you would just take one drop of and you can apply it directly to the body. If you have a dosage bottle itself, you can do the same thing. It's just going to be a little more diluted. And then there's the temporal bones. When as a cranial sacral therapist, I do a lot of my body work, my body integration work through the cranial sacral system using plant spirit medicine and the VibroChromotherapy of the canna essences. And what I've noticed is that there's the temporal bones get wobbly and they become mobile when they were immobile during a cranial sacral session. So if you're a cranial sacral practitioner and you're noticing that the temporal bones are not moving, that person has lots of headaches, lots of head congestion. Applying orange to the temporal bones will allow them to unwind and reset their movements to a synchronized rhythm, allowing them to be supportive to releasing headaches, dizziness, and out-of-body sensations. If you don't know where the temporal bone is, I have given a picture of it, diagram on page 49, and it is the orange. Temporal bone is orange, and the zygomatic bone is green as well. So you'll see that the zygomatic is green and the temporals are there. And then there's a suture between the two that hold them together. And you're going to want to apply the orange with the cotton ball method to the body, to these areas after a cranial sacral session. So I hope you'll go receive a cranial sacral therapy session, either have the practitioner apply the essence to you, or as soon as you're done with the session, apply the essence to your temporal bones. You're going to want to apply it to the suture right here. Then you're going to want to apply it to the lambdoid and the parietal sutures. So these sutures up here along the side. And then you're going to want to green on the diagram. So that's the zygomatico-temporal suture. It's about 5 finger widths from the ear on the cheekbone on the lateral side of the face. So just like this. Orange on the diagram, it's the lambdoid suture. So it's right above the ear, about 2 finger widths. If you clench your jaw, notice this muscle engage. Notice that it comes down about 1.5 finger widths towards my ear. So you should feel this indentation along the skull above the ear is where you'll be looking for the lambdoid suture. And then the orange on the diagram is the parieto-mastoid suture, which comes right behind your earlobe. So be gentle with your touch or palpation, and notice the first bump right behind the ear, right? And then follow down 1 finger width to the larger bump on the side of your head, right over here on the top of your neck. You're going to want to follow this group up and sideways for about 2 finger widths, and you should meet back up with the lambdoid suture. So you've got this, it comes around over in here. At some point, probably in January, there will be specific videos of how to do these applications, these protocols, so that you'll know how to do them. So if you're not attracted to receiving the cranial sacral therapy session right now, don't worry about that piece, that application. If you're not into anatomy, even the way that I wrote it up there, it might just be easier to see it as a demonstration. So just know that that'll be coming in January as well. So, and if you have any questions before then, put it on the Facebook page and I'll make sure and answer them. So for the color orange, the biggest things for you to remember is that you are working with 2 separate rays this month. You're working with red and you're working with yellow. So you are the bridge between grounding and illumination. So grounding, purification, and illumination. Beautiful things that are happening in the first 3 months of our VibroChromotherapy program. I hope you'll take advantage of what orange has to offer you and raise your vibration to new heights by purging your physical, emotional, mental, spiritual systems so that you are at the best place that you can be to start to illuminate your PEM system. Thank you for all the work you're doing in this world, and may you have a beautiful, blessed day.